Congrats tonight, bro. Yep. See you around. Whoa, AJ! AJ! What happened, man? You all right? AJ, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
What happened, bro? You all right?
You know what happened.
Fresno City College in Fresno, California. For the evening, my name is DJ Kirsch, known within some circles as Broseph Joe Brody, and the man Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson declared Rock the Promo Champion. And right now, we are going to bring you the best professional wrestling on this coast or any coast. This is Best of the West Ignition!
To the West fans, this is J.R. Kratos, and you are now tuned in to Best of the West.
Welcome to Best of the West Ignition. AJ Kirsch at ringside as Manny Faberino, who's only 17. He's been 17 for like 4 or 5 years now. I don't know how he does it. Makes his way to the ring for tag team action. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. If you are tuning in, use the hashtag Ignition on all things social media. Yes, we know you're 17. Yes, it's there on his tights. It's there on his shirt. If you don't believe that he's 17, he will happily point to his tights or his shirt. Of course, Davey Dangerously representing the ring crew, making the announcements this evening, and to his left, referee Wiggins. Oh, awesome. He has the mic.
It's your boy Manny Faberino, only 17, and the man-child of your dreams.
Who's this?
Now, for those of you who don't know, usually I am accompanied to the ring with my tag team partner, Uncle Chaz.
Conspicuous by his absence.
Now, Chaz is usually my twin, but recently I feel that he's been holding me back. You see, I know what it takes to win matches, while Chaz is determined to do things the right way. He wants to kiss hands and shake babies. Well, that's cool, Chaz, but unfortunately, he's nowhere to be seen tonight. So I got myself a new partner, a partner who knows how to win. Bring him out!
Apparently, Manny Faberino, out with the old, in with the news, got himself a new tag team partner. Let's find out who it is. Dominic Kubrick making his Best of the West debut. And I'm not really sure what to make of this guy. I don't have any information on Dominic Kubrick. Clearly littered from head to toe. Wearing... Okay, that's not necessary. Wearing a creepy mask and weirding out everybody at ringside. Everybody just looks super uncomfortable. And Dominic, he's licking the top rope. Okay. It's officially weird at Fresno City College. Manny seems thrilled with his new tag team partner. And pointing out the handprints on the posterior of Dominic Kubrick. I'm very interested to see how these two are going to fare as a tag team, but they're both equally unsettling in their own unique way, so they're off to a great start. And here come their opponents. Souls in Control. Hyped out of their mind and convinced that Crisscross lives. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think either one of them have died, but they are still just relentless, diehard Crisscross fans. These two always having fun in the ring, out of the ring, doesn't matter where they're at, they're having a good time. Will Rochambeau decide who's going to start? Looks like RJ Cruz won out. He's going to be kicking it off against Manny Faberino. Tag team action underway here at Best of the West Ignition. Manny wasting no time and mocking this crowd who clearly enjoys clapping. Most crowds do. It's weird. The boot to the midsection immediately stops RJ Cruz in his tracks. And a forearm to the back, and immediately Manny Faberino in control right now with a side headlock. It's the first time I've seen Manny Faberino and Dominic Kubrick tagging together. In fact, it's the first time I've ever seen Dominic Kubrick, period. Off the ropes goes Manny Faberino, catches RJ Cruz in an inverted atomic drop. RJ sidesteps the drop kick. There's a forearm to the back. And a squeal of panic from Manny Faberino, who tags in Dominic Kubrick. And it looks like Dominic Kubrick just chomping out the bit as Najee gets the tag from RJ Cruz. Souls in control. Kubrick now just can't, what is he can't decide which hand he wants to do a test of strength with. And a right hand right to Najee. And these two just exchanging. There's a takedown from Kubrick, and I think the fun and games are over. Kubrick is immediately just ripping at the face of Najee. Okay, again, this is getting weird. I don't know what Dominic Kubrick's deal is, but whatever it is, he seems to be, he's feeling himself. There's really no other way to put it. And now he's feeling Najee right before a punishing chop. Irish whip reversed by Najee. Comes careening in with a forearm, a second one. Nobody home for the third. Dominic Kubrick really pushing the limits of Wiggles' 5 count. And now Kubrick has his hands on Wiggles. And a low blow while Wiggles is being distracted / grossed out. Wiggles didn't see it. He was probably fearing for his life. Into the cover, 1, 2, and a kick right to the chest from RJ Cruz. Otherwise, this one could have been over. Punch to the midsection now. Manny Faberino blatantly right in front of the referee, choking the life out of Najee. And there's a tag to Manny Faberino, forever 17. And now stomping a mud hole in Najee in the corner. Najee is a long way from friendly territory. Back in goes Dominic Kubrick, making his Best of the West debut, using those ropes for leverage with those huge stomps. Huge headbutt right between the eyes. Now Manny back in, and this is just sound tag team wrestling. Weird as these two might be, these two are doing a great job of isolating Najee in their own corner, far away from RJ Cruz. In fact, as far away as he can get without leaving the ring. Now Manny Faberino has got Najee up. Drops him with a vertical suplex. Najee just trying to create some separation at this point. Trying to do something, anything, to just create enough space where he can make a tag to RJ Cruz, who's got to be fiending on the outside at this point. Enziguri, and down goes Najee. Pulled to the center of the ring, into the cover, hooks the far leg, and only 2, says referee Wiggles. And now just raking the face of Najee. Wiggles up to a 3. There's 4. Can disqualify him if he gets to 5. But Manny, experienced beyond his years, using every second of that 4 count. And now Dominic Kubrick flexing as he rests his entire body weight on Najee. There's a, well, it looked like a choke or a rake of the eyes or something, but as soon as the referee got over there, Kubrick put his hands up like, what did I do? And once again, Najee whipped into the enemy's corner right now. Najee is got to find a way to make a tag to RJ, otherwise this one could be over in a hurry. Uh-oh, this does not look good for Najee. Manny Faberino has a crazy look in his eye. It looks like he's about to... Wiggles not letting it happen, shoved out of the way. Luckily, it wasn't enough for disqualification, but Manny just got caught in the face with a boot from Najee, who is now perched on the top rope. Manny doesn't see him coming. Beautiful crossbody. And Najee right there. He's so close to making the tag. Here comes Dominic Kubrick. Here comes RJ Cruz. Finally gets the tag and is clotheslining anything in sight. Outside goes Manny Faberino. RJ Cruz with a boot to the midsection as Dominic Kubrick hooked, sits out and lands face first. 1, 2, and 3. He got him. Souls in control. Najee and RJ Cruz victorious. Najee took one hell of a beating for most of the match, but he was able to make the tag. RJ Cruz, the fresh man in this contest, a house of fire, and able to put Dominic Kubrick down for a count of 3, and Manny Faberino is furious on the outside, perhaps regretting the sudden change in tag team partners. I'm sure somewhere Chaz Herrera is looking on with a grin on his face. RJ Cruz and Najee celebrate with a tag team victory here at Best of the West Ignition. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Best of the West fans, this is J.R. Kratos, and you are now tuned in to Best of the West.
Welcome back to Best of the West Ignition. AJ Kirsch at ringside, Davey Dangerously with your introductions, and still no love for referee Stephen Landis. And Royce Isaacs making his way to the ring from the Mile High City. Very proud of that sleeveless fur coat. I'm sure it cost him a pretty penny, and I'm sure he didn't even bat an eye. Royce Isaacs, very proud of his luxurious lifestyle and the amenities that lifestyle affords. But he is all business when he steps through those ropes. Very no-nonsense look in the face of Royce Isaacs, who's just gave Landis the stink eye as we await the arrival of his opponent. And there it is, the unmistakable music, often associated with the night at the Roxbury. And here comes Best of the West's party animal. Got the head bob going crazy, and Johnny Butabi is here at Best of the West at Fresno City College, high-fiving these fans at ringside. And Johnny Butabi always having a good time in the ring or out of the ring. But he has got an uphill battle ahead of him against an athlete the caliber of Royce Isaacs. I'm not drunk, I'm American. Well, that sure pretty much sums up Johnny Butabi, doesn't it? The red, white, and blue all across his tights. The shirt comes off. Johnny Butabi has kept himself in arguably the best shape of his career for quite some time now. He looks a little bit leaner every time I see him. That DDP yoga really paying off, but Royce Isaacs always in excellent condition. The bell sounds and we are underway here at Best of the West. If you're watching at home, please use hashtag Ignition on social media. Like Best of the West on Facebook and follow on Twitter and Instagram. Both are at BOTW Wrestling. Royce Isaacs in control now with a wrist lock. Butabi rolls through it and a nip up. This was the last time Johnny Butabi did a nip up. Goes behind into a hammerlock. Now headlock takeover. Possible pinning predicament here as Royce Isaacs. Only a one count from referee Stephen Landis. Butabi with that leverage. Wait a second. Countered. Releases the headlock, and now both competitors back to where they started. Royce Isaacs has traveled the world honing his craft, several tours in Japan, and saying, if you want to do a test of strength, I think I got you beat, but okay. But did not see the boot coming to the midsection. Johnny Butabi, the smile on his face, tells the story. Very proud of himself. Down goes Royce Isaacs. Not even a one count. And a pie face. Johnny Butabi, hands on his hips, is clearly displeased. Double leg takedown, nope, drives him back into the corner. And a chop right to the chest. I think Johnny Butabi just said, welcome to the big leagues. Running hip attack right to the chest, off the ropes, and a huge clothesline takes down Royce Isaacs into the cover, hooks the far leg, but only a one count. And seeing some, God, just unadulterated anger on the face of Royce Isaacs, who was just getting fired up, and a headbutt takes down Johnny Butabi. Right hand to the face of Johnny Butabi, and now just scraping the bottom of his boot across the face of the man who prides himself as the heartbeat of America. A couple forearms out of the corner. Right hand right to the face. And Johnny Butabi now keeping the beat down on Royce Isaac, who's fighting back with everything he's got. Referee Steven Landis trying to break these two up. Butabi just got clocked in the face again by Royce Isaac's leg. Landis just got shoved down. I think he's calling for the bell. Referee Steven Landis has called for the bell, and these two are still going. Oh, God. Nope. Nope. Stay away from my Rock the Promo belt. Bhutabi with a mouthful of water now. Spits it right in the face of Royce Isaacs. Steven Landis with a panicked look on his face.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steven Landis has declared this a no contest.
Referee, he heard the ruling right there. Referee Steven Landis has declared this match a no contest. Meanwhile, these two are fighting amongst the fans, fighting in the crowd, all over the place. Now referee Wiggles is out here. A lot of good he's gonna do. Bhutabi is a billboard right between the eyes of Royce Isaacs. This thing is breaking down. The match is officially a no contest. I think Steven Landis was just like, screw it. Neither of these guys are gonna listen to the rules. So we do not have a winner for this match, but these two are still going toe to toe, tooth and nail. Bhutabi dragging Royce Isaacs and dragging referees and security behind him. Feeds the wall to Johnny Butabi. The bell continues to sound. A lot of good that's doing. A fan just handed Bhutabi a shoe. And just clocked Royce Isaacs with a shoe. Landis and Wiggles are just yelling at these two like that, like they listened earlier. If they didn't listen during the match, they are definitely not going to listen after the fact. Landis was just sidestepped. Royce Isaacs continuing to hammer away on Johnny Butabi. It is complete chaos at Best of the West. Johnny Butabi hurled into the folding chairs. And Royce Isaacs is livid. The referee's just relieved at this point that there's some separation between these two. Bhutabi can barely stand up at this point. He looks battered and beaten. Rolls over the barricade again. Climbs up to the ring apron, and this is still not over. Double axe right to Royce Isaacs back in front of us where this thing broke down in the first place. Pulling the barricade into his forehead. Davey dangerously continues to ring the bell. Bhutabi into the barricade this time. The referees just continue to yell. And these two, I think, are going to fight all the way to the backstage area. We better get some order back there. We'll be right back with more Best of the West Ignition. Don't go anywhere. Good Lord.
Watching Best of the West Wrestling, and it's Eli Drake. Don't be a dummy. Keep it right here. That's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. Yeah.
Destiny's a fickle mistress, Funnybone. Sometimes she's on your side. Sometimes she's the tick-tock of the clock counting down your days left. Some people think they control destiny. The truth is, some of us are born to do great things, and some of us are born to be just another face in the crowd. But me and you, Funnybone, we were born for this business. We were born to do great things. And our names have been synonymous with each other in California. Through blood and broken bones and thumbtacks. No two men have shed more blood in California, have traded more titles than me and you. And it's now been, what, 7, 8, 9 years since we've met one-on-one in a ring, and it's only fitting it would happen here at Best of the West. As California wrestling takes off to new heights, we'll meet again on a bigger stage than we've ever met, and for a bigger prize than we've ever fought over. That title that you hold was made for me. The California Black Sheep, Mike Rayne, has been sitting and waiting and proving time and time again that I am the most dangerous man in all of California. And when I meet you next week, Funnybone, you bring my title. I've waited for months and months and months for you to have no other distractions and for my destiny to finally arrive. I see through the paint, Funnybone. I see through the jacket. I see through the masks. I see through everything. That you pull the wool over all these people's eyes. You are not superhuman. You are not a demigod of death. You are just a man. Like me. Like everybody else. But I'm a more dangerous man, Funnybone. I know your weaknesses. I've seen you crawl out of the ring with broken bones. And next week will be no different. So bring that title, because it's going home with the object of envy. The epitome of creativity, the greatest wrestler of my generation. Funnybone, come prepared to meet your date with destiny.
Welcome back to Best of the West Ignition. Your main event is right now, and here comes the #1 contender for the Best of the West Heavyweight Championship, the California Black Sheep, Mike Rayne. Very disturbing look in the eye of Mike Rayne.
I'm the greatest wrestler of my generation, and tonight I leave it all on the line and I prove it.
Mike Rayne saying he's the greatest wrestler of this generation and that it is his destiny to become the Best of the West Heavyweight Champion. He says he's going to leave it all in the middle of the ring tonight. He has a chance to leave Fresno City College with the Best of the West Heavyweight Championship. Believes with every ounce of his being that that championship belongs to him, that he deserves it. But in order to lay claim to that championship, he's got to pry it away from the cold, dead fingers of the reigning Best of the West Heavyweight Champion, Funnybone. Here he comes, the defending Best of the West heavyweight champion, Funnybone. Man, am I glad I am not standing across the ring from that. Rayne quickly getting up to his feet, knowing that Funnybone, one of the most unpredictable and just relentless competitors that Best of the West has ever seen. He truly is an unsettling presence, is your demigod of death. Very proud of that Best of the West championship, and Mike Rayne looking on. I'm sure there is not a single doubt in his mind that that championship is truly his. And Wiggles holding up the Best of the West Heavyweight Championship. That's what it's all about. This is your main event here at Best of the West Ignition. AJ Kirsch at ringside, here to call the action in what I'm sure is going to go down as an absolute classic. Wiggles looks terrified already. He's going to have his hands full with this match. He's got Funnybone, who is a force to be reckoned with in his own right, and then you've got the California Black Sheep, Mike Rayne, who will do anything, and I mean absolutely anything, to leave Fresno City College with the Best of the West Heavyweight Championship. Collar and elbow tie-up. Funnybone goes behind. Mike Rayne with a wrist lock now on Funnybone, trying to maneuver his way out. He does. Turns it into a wrist lock of his own. Mike Rayne, elbow to the side of the skull, no pun intended. Funnybone nips up, breaks the hold, and we reach a stalemate early on. And Funnybone slowly walking toward Mike Rayne. Looks like perhaps a test of strength, also known as a Greco-Roman knuckle lock. Mike Rayne breaks it, sweeps the leg into the lateral press. Funnybone up on his feet. Mike Rayne with a concerned look on his face, or perhaps just plotting what he's going to do next. Mike Rayne, one of the most cagey and crafty performers in this ring, or any ring for that matter. Off the ropes goes Funnybone. Ducks the clothesline. Sunset flip attempt. Mike Rayne just falls to his knees, and Funnybone again rising up to his feet and looking at Mike Rayne like, is that all you've got? Mike Rayne now using the ring to his advantage, halfway into the ropes, forcing Wiggles to get between them and create some distance. Mike Rayne back in the ring and a kick to the midsection. Forearm to the face. Funnybone answers with one of his own. And now back and forth, forearm after forearm, and a double thrust to the throat sways the exchange in Funnybone's favor, who just wiped the chest of Mike Rayne clean with that chop. And Mike Rayne answers with one of his own, and Funnybone just roars in his face. Ow. Funnybone goes up and over, rolls through, back onto his feet, kick to the midsection, boot to the face, and an enziguri hits the side of the head. Mike Rayne may be out cold. Running forearm right to the face. Irish whip into the opposite turnbuckle. Backdrop over the top. Funnybone almost took out one of the photographers at ringside. And Mike Rayne in pursuit of a momentarily weakened Best of the West heavyweight champion. Another chop to the chest, and Funnybone answers with one of his own again. Rake of the back of Mike Rayne. Funnybone rolls into the ring, breaking the referee's count. Forearm to the upper back, and punishing one at that from Mike Rayne. And another chop to the chest, and I think they're finally starting to have an effect on Funnybone, but Funnybone, of course, as soon as I say that, starts fighting back immediately. Another chop to the chest. Wiggles is up to 7. Funnybone wisely breaks the referee's count again. Mike Rayne just went face first into that steel ring post. Tried to get his hands up to block it. I don't know how much he was able to. And Funnybone choking out the #1 contender. And Mike Rayne gets shoveled back into the ring, and a kick to the ropes. I don't know if referee Wiggles saw it or not, but he's going to let this one go. And I gotta say, I like it. I want to see a clear winner in this match, and I think a little bit of leeway is exactly what this match needs. Good freaking Lord. You can hear that palm strike from just about anywhere. Funnybone on Dream Street right now. And there's another one right to the point of the jaw. Mike Rayne buries the knee into the face of Funnybone, hooks him up. Almost a tilt-a-whirl gourd buster there. Into the cover, lateral press, there's 2, and a short 2 count. Snapmare center of the ring. There's a kick right to the back. And now Mike Rayne looking to slow the pace down a little bit and sink in that rear chin lock. Both he and Funnybone are prone on the canvas. Mike Rayne using as much of his weight as possible to apply pressure to that rear chin lock. Funnybone able to make it up to a vertical base, a couple elbows, breaks the hold. Off the ropes, sunset flip, this time gets him over. Double stomp right to the solar plexus. Funnybone got absolutely all of it, but he cannot capitalize with a cover. There it is, 1, 2, and a kick out, left shoulder up. This is your main event for the Best of the West Heavyweight Championship. And Mike Rayne, just like that, able to turn the tide in his favor. That boot right into the side of the face of the defending champion. Mike Rayne hesitating as a fallen Funnybone answers with a few strikes. And if I were Mike Rayne, I would keep the beat down on Funnybone as much as possible. You give him just an inch to fight back and he'll take a mile. Oh, God. Very unique backbreaker from Mike Rayne, who goes into the cover. 1, 2, and again only 2. You can see the scratches down the back of Mike Rayne from that back rake earlier. And I'm sure that's the least of his worries right now. These two have already put each other through a war. The Best of the West Heavyweight Championship continues to hang in the balance as Mike Rayne believes it is his destiny to walk away with that championship, and buries a forearm into the chest. Funnybone mocking the fans that are chanting for Funnybone, the demigod of death. And again, if I were Mike Rayne, I wouldn't pay any attention to the fans at ringside. If I were him, I would just, and he's doing it again. He's wasting valuable time motioning that he should be the Best of the West champion, and every second he's not keeping the offense on Funnybone is a chance for Funnybone to regather himself. And there it is, a boot right to the face. Huge clothesline takes down Mike Rayne. And another one. Reversed by Mike Rayne. Shoved to the outside, Funnybone off the ropes. Suicide dive catches Mike Rayne. Funnybone off the ropes, and yet another suicide dive. Funnybone throwing caution to the wind. And referee Wiggles begins his count. This time Funnybone wastes no time, rolls the #1 contender back into the ring, and now just beckoning him to get up to his feet. Mike Rayne got the better of that exchange, goes for a shoulder block, but a double stomp right to the base of the skull. And both competitors find themselves down on the apron. Funnybone saying it's over. I can only imagine what he has in mind for Mike Rayne. Got him in a fireman's carry. Mike Rayne slithers out the back. Eats a kick right to the face. Funnybone now. Double stomp again. Right between the shoulder blades into the cover. 1, 2, and now a kick out at 2. Mike Rayne about a half a second away from all of his hopes and dreams of becoming Best of the West Heavyweight Champion, flying right out the window. And now Funnybone, exhausted, but in control. Another fireman's carry, this time dead center of the ring. Mike Rayne knows what's coming, tries to squirm his way out of it, and does. And once again, these two are just beating each other to a pulp in the center of the ring. Funnybone off the ropes, goes underneath, buries the knee into the midsection. A knee lift that time, forearm to the face. Crossbody caught. And a flatliner. Funnybone hit his head. His forehead hit the canvas, and now both competitors are down. Neither competitor showing a great deal of activity right now. Mike Rayne finally drapes his arm over. That's a cover. There's 2. And no, again, only 2. Mike Rayne has his hand on his forehead as if to say, what the hell do I have to do to put down the demigod of death for a count of 3? And again, when all else fails, Mike Rayne just bringing the beat down to Funnybone. Mike Rayne hops to the top rope. A boot catches Funnybone, who is running in. There's a forearm catches Mike Rayne. Has him in that fireman carry. Death Valley driver. Hooks the near leg. There's 1, 2, and again only a 2 count. Wiggles was so close to hitting the canvas, but that right shoulder came up at the last possible second. Crowd coming alive for the reigning, defending Best of the West heavyweight champion, Funnybone. Kick to the midsection. He could be setting up Mike Rayne for the Demon Spike. Mike Rayne wisely, perhaps desperately, down to a knee to keep Funnybone from getting the advantage. And there's a suplex. Almost looked as if he picked him up by the back of the hamstring, a very unique variation of the suplex, but Mike Rayne knows for his diversity in his offense, and now, speaking of which, climbs up to the top. He is not afraid to fly. Mike Rayne perched on the top rope, and there's a leg drop almost taking Funnybone's head off. Mike Rayne into the cover. 1, 2, and no, again only 2. And the frustration strewed across the face of Mike Rayne. He thought he was to become the Best of the West heavyweight champion, but it was not to be, not on that exchange. And now Mike Rayne must go back to the drawing board. He's calling for that patented pile driver of his. Another enziguri from Funnybone, who rips his face off. Funnybone going up top. You know he's got to be thinking about that double stomp from the top. Absolutely devastating. Mike Rayne is up though. Mike Rayne climbing up to the second rope. Oh my God, climbing up to the very top. Funnybone trying to fight back with some forearms to the face, and it's enough to at least knock Mike Rayne off balance. Headbutt! Mike Rayne trying to hold on for dear life. Oh my God. Funnybone in position. If he hits this, it's over. Demon Stomp! That's it. Cover him. It is academic. Oh my God, Funnybone's not done. Is he going for another one? He's up. Down he goes. Demon Stomp landed right on top of Mike Rayne. Cover. 1, 2, and what? How the hell did Mike Rayne kick out of that? How in the hell? Funnybone has got to be in absolute shock. And now Funnybone probably feeling like he has to go back to the drawing board. If 2 Demon Stomps, one right after the other, wasn't enough to put down Mike Rayne, what in the hell will? Perhaps a Demon Spike. Funnybone thinking about it. Mike Rayne had it well scouted. There's a poke right to the eye. Will stop anybody in their tracks. Spinning heel kick right to the face, and down goes Funnybone. Mike Rayne, oh my God, he's looking for that pile driver. He's got it hooked. He hit it! He hit it! That's it. 1, 2. We have a new, no, a kick out at 2. And the look on Mike Rayne's face tells the story. He looks like he is near tears. Not even that pile driver was enough to put away Funnybone, but Funnybone, you can see, barely conscious and hanging onto his neck. And now Funnybone has no idea what's coming because Mike Rayne has a chair. And not a folding chair, mind you. A standard steel frame chair. Oh my God, Mike Rayne's thinking about the pile driver on that chair. No way. Funnybone felt it coming. He felt Mike Rayne's leg climb on top of that chair and was like, there's no way that's happening. There's no freaking way. Clothesline misses. Knee right underneath the jaw. Another one in the corner. Funnybone hooks up Mike Rayne. Demon Spike, he got it. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wiggles counted to 3, called for the bell, but as we saw it, Mike Rayne, did he get the, well, Brandon Pinion is out here. Maybe he can clarify the situation. I couldn't tell if Mike Rayne got his hand on the rope in time or not. Hopefully we're about to find out.
I'm not going to reverse the decision. If that's what you saw, that's what I saw. No. It's not. You were a victim. You know very well that man deserves a better shot. How many fans saw him put his hand on the rope? Mike, you may not be able to hear me, but if you want any day of the week, so if you guys want a rematch, you guys want a rematch?
Well, Brandon Pinion has come out here and said if that's what the referee saw, he will honor that decision, but he's convinced. That Mike Rayne deserves another shot, but tonight, your winner, and still, Best of the West. Whoa! What the hell? Funnybone just bicycle kicked Wiggles right in the face. What is the meaning of this? Maybe Funnybone didn't like the fact that Wiggles didn't see the hand on the ropes and wanted to fight some more, but for whatever reason, Funnybone just kicked the hell out of referee Wiggles, is on the top rope. Oh God, Wiggles, find a happy place. Oh my God. Demon stomp right into the heart of Wiggles. Funnybone is out of control. And if I were you, referee Steven Landis, I would just run for your life. Funnybone, victorious tonight at Best of the West Ignition, but not without controversy. Rayne tried to get his hand on the bottom rope to beat the 3 count. We're gonna have to review the footage to see if he did or didn't. But the bottom line is, Funnybone retains the Best of the West Heavyweight Championship after an absolute war. Wiggles is in a quivering heap. And Funnybone says he'll fight Rayne again any day of the week. But Rayne has to continue living life without the Best of the West Heavyweight Championship. If it is his destiny to become the Best of the West Heavyweight Champion, that destiny is not tonight. These two warriors, battered and beaten in the corner, looking at each other in the eye right now, perhaps some mutual respect forming between these two. But Funnybone leaves still your Best of the West Heavyweight Champion. And the void in the soul of the California Black Sheep, Rayne, continues to lay vacant. Funnybone, I don't like how he's looking at me. I'm out of here.
Change fate, Funnybone. You can only delay the inevitable. My destiny is that title around the race. I've struggled every day, I've worked hard every day to get back to here, and it's not gonna end like this. I had that work. These fans saw I had that work. And at the 2-year anniversary, I want you in a steel cage.
Oh my God. Rayne wants his rematch in a steel cage. The 2-year anniversary of Best of the West is Saturday, March 17th at Fresno City College. Rayne has his date with Destiny. Good night, everybody, from Best of the West Ignition.
Thank you.